Hey guys, it's Melanie. Today we are doing a comparison video that is somewhat similar to a comparison video that I actually already did a couple of years ago on my channel, but this is kind of the updated version and probably an even better comparison than what I did before because the products are even a little bit more similar now. But let me tell you guys, you saw the title, but Clarisonic did come out with this silicone brush head. It was either late last year or early this year. I purchased this myself. I think I got this one at, I think it was Ulta, but you can also find this at Sephora, obviously. And I think there's maybe there's a few other retailers where you can find this. But what I wanted to do today was compare this with the Foreo Luna. So before we get into it, this particular Foreo Luna was sent to me by consideration from Octoly. So I did apply to Foreo to be able to review this product, and they sent it out for free. Octoly doesn't require a positive review on anything that is sent to you. They just require an honest review. You guys, I wouldn't work with a company or a brand that wouldn't allow me to express my honest thoughts. I think there are some definite pros to the Foreo Luna, but I also think there are some things to maybe also consider. And I thought it might be kind of fun to compare these two because now I feel like it's a more even fair comparison than what I did before. Before I was mainly focusing on like the cleansing aspect, which we'll touch on again here. But I was comparing, you know, a nylon bristle brush head to this silicone texture, if that makes sense. So anyway, the Foreo Luna, this one here is the mini version, and I believe this retails for $139, but we all know you can find this particular product at several different retailers. Obviously on their website, I will be linking it down below. But Sephora, Ulta, and I think even Derm Store, there's a few places where you can find the Foreo Luna. And a lot of those places have periodic sales or coupons that they send out. So if you're wanting to pick something like this up, if you're on a tighter budget, might be worth waiting for a coupon to purchase this because it is an investment. Any of these cleansing devices are typically going to be a little bit more expensive. They're an investment, but I have found them to be much better in terms of getting my skin clean every single night. So to me, like I've purchased all of my Clarisonics and 100% worth it for me. So even when I had to replace my first one, I was like, yep, didn't even wait for a sale. Just went and bought it because that is how helpful this has been to me. Now, when I did my review and comparison a couple of years ago, that Foreo Luna was actually also sent to me as a PR item, but through Derm Store. And I had an issue with that one in that after about a year, it stopped charging. Now, I think what may have happened with that is Stella was a lot younger back then. Stella has always played around in my bathroom, and there's a very decent chance that she did drop this a few times, at least the first one that I had. The first one was in like a hot pink color. She's very attracted to all things pink and purple, even blue. And she always wanted to play with it, and I'm pretty sure she probably dropped it a few times. So I don't necessarily blame the Foreo Luna for giving out, because if it was dropped, then I could see it being damaged, especially if it happened a few times. I chose not to follow up with Derm Store or with Foreo to try to get it fixed or replaced or anything, because it was a PR item, and I was like, I'm not going to be that person. And honestly, I still had my Clarisonic, which at the time I definitely preferred, so it wasn't like a massive loss for me. I was bummed because I do think that this is a great cleansing device, but I still had my Clarisonic at the time. So anyway, this new one I've been using now for, I think it's been about 3 weeks. And this, honestly, I don't use this very often. So I'm gonna tell you right off the back, if you're just like here to like what I like better in terms of silicone bristles, it is definitely the Foreo Luna. Let me just tell you quickly about this, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the Foreo. But this Clarisonic brush head, while I think it's a great idea, I mean, if you already own a Clarisonic, this is fantastic. You don't have to buy like a whole new device. You just buy the brush head. I want to say this retails for $35 to $40. It's a spendier one, but you just, you know, put it on your existing Clarisonic. If I can find that, there we go. And you just kind of go from there. So you just turn it on and you can see the little bristles are moving back and forth very, very rapidly. It's that sonic action. And you can use this to cleanse your face. You can use it, oh, there's the FedEx man. You can use it to cleanse your face. You can use this to help drive ingredients a little bit deeper into the skin. There's a few different things that you can do with this. What I want to say though is these bristles they're actually kind of rough. There's also these little nubs you can see on this outer portion here. There's little shorter nubs, slightly longer nubs, and then there's like these really long nubs, silicone bristles in the middle here. So, but these have a triangle shape, and I feel like they are almost too big, and they're too stiff for my liking, you guys. I actually find this kind of uncomfortable to use, and I am someone with tough skin. I had a hard time even testing this out because I was like, ugh, I just don't love this. But the Foreo Luna is fantastic because these bristles are crazy soft. There are some slightly thicker bristles on the back, and they definitely, they're a little bit more stiff, but not as stiff as the Clarisonic. What I think this is great for, and what I actually appreciate about this more now than I did even a couple years ago, is I am certainly coming to appreciate skincare products and devices that are more gentle on the skin. I have pretty tough skin, but I have learned over the last few years that the more gentle you are with your skin, the more kind you are, the better it is for your skin in the long run. You know, you shouldn't be tearing at it or anything like that. And these nubs are just a lot more gentle. This does a wonderful job of both cleaning the skin very effectively, and I do think that using either a brush or a washcloth or a konjac sponge or something other than just your fingers to clean your face is gonna get your face so much cleaner, guys. Like a huge difference. In fact, when I first started using my original Clarisonic with, I think at the time I just used the normal brush heads, like the difference in my skin was night and day within like a couple of weeks. Like it just gets deeper down into the pores, especially with this sonic action. It just gets all the dirt, makeup, bacteria, all the stuff that gets trapped in your pores out so much more effectively. So something like this will do the same thing, where that sonic action helps to like get everything out of your pores, and it just leaves your skin feeling a lot cleaner and clearer. And when your pores are clear, they look a lot smaller. So I do think this is fantastic for that. Another thing that I think the Foreo Luna is better at than this is if you are using a device like this with the silicone bristles to work your skincare deeper into the skin. If you didn't know you could do that, you can. You can use these silicone bristles here to put an essence or a serum or something on your face and then just massage it into your skin. By the way, this is pretty quiet. Can you guys hear that? You can work that into your skin and drive the product a little bit deeper. It's great for that. These are just so stiff that it just makes it uncomfortable. I just really don't like this. In fact, I wish I still had the receipt, but like I said, I purchased this a while ago, and it just, I think every single month this year you saw it sitting on my monthly skincare routine video where I had it sitting on that stand that I have in my bathroom. And I rarely reached for this just because I didn't like the way that it felt. Like there's a big difference between these two. If you are someone who wants a like silicone type cleansing device, this is far superior over this, even though if you already have a Clarisonic, this would be a cheaper option. Obviously, like $35 to $40 versus like $139-ish dollars. That's a big price difference. And you know, if you already have one of these, but there are benefits to the Foreo Luna, I will admit. And now that I'm a little bit older, I do really prefer a more gentle cleansing. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not giving up my Clarisonic. I love this thing. I live for it. And I do find that the deep pore brush heads are still very gentle on my skin. But in terms of working skincare deeper into the skin, this is actually really nice for that. Do keep in mind that you do have to clean out these bristles periodically because skin cells and, you know, whatever else can get stuck in between the bristles. I just get a stiff brush, like a toothbrush basically, and I will go through and periodically just run this under really hot water, trying to avoid burning my fingers. And then I will take a toothbrush with just a little bit of soap on it and clean in between the bristles and clean that out. Especially if you're putting the skincare on and then using this to infuse the skincare deeper into the skin, make sure that you wash it after every use. One thing I wanted to say really quickly, sometimes when people watch my older Clarisonic videos, they complain about the fact that it gets gross underneath the brush head. Well, you have to take it off after every use, which this is not a time consuming thing and it's just habitual for me, but I will use this to clean my face at night, on nights where I'm not using the Foreo. And once I'm done, I just take the brush head off, run this under hot water, on the back side, on the front as well. Once a week, I just take, again, just some like dish soap from the kitchen, and I will clean the bristles very carefully and then just plop it like in hot water for a few minutes. I don't think there's a huge concern about bacterial growth on these, although they do claim that these silicone bristles are even more bacteria resistant, so something to keep in mind there. But it's really easy to keep my Clarisonic clean. This one's a couple years old. There is not an ounce of mold or gunk or whatever underneath here because I just rinse it every night. If you're not doing that, you should do that. You'll find that not only is this gonna work better, but it's not gonna get smelly or gross because there's not gonna be stuff underneath here that is festering, if that makes sense. So just rinse it out, it's super quick. But yeah, overall, I have to admit, now that I'm a little bit older, I do actually really like this Foreo Luna way more than I did the first time that I tried it. What I think is great about this is that one charge is good for like 5 months. So usually every 2.5, 3 weeks, I recharge my Clarisonic, which isn't bad, but to not have to worry about it for 5 months is amazing. I don't really like the design on this. I do wish it had a handle, to be totally honest, because this is awkward to me. Like sometimes I've had it like almost slip out of my hand when I'm using it at night or in the morning. I don't think this is the most ergonomic for me. Having a handle is just much more comfortable and secure. With the soap, sometimes this can get a little slick. And again, I don't want to drop it because I think that's what happened to my last one, and I think that's why it stopped working. So I do wish that they would put a handle on this, but I mean, I do understand that this is part of their kind of sleek design. It's very minimalist looking, and it does have several different speeds, by the way. That you see the little plus and minus there. It's like just kind of stamped in there, so it's hard to see, but you can definitely, you know, go up in speed, or you can go down just depending on what you're most comfortable with. But if I were to say one or the other, I don't know. I think if you have really delicate skin, this is going to be a much better fit for you. Maybe if you have like really oily, tough skin like I do, might want to give this a go, especially if you already have a Clarisonic. But in terms of the way that it feels, hands down, this feels a lot better and is a lot more gentle. And I think the more gentle you are with your skin, the better. I was actually kind of disappointed that this didn't work better for me because I've loved Clarisonic for a number of years, and yeah, this to me was a little bit of a waste of money. I'm not going to return it now. I don't know. My mom has a Clarisonic at her house. Maybe I'll pass this one along to her. I'll just wash it, pass it along to her, see if she likes it. But for me, I don't know. If I had to choose, I'd probably go for this over this. but I will never trade this in. They complement each other nicely. They're kind of good to like alternate between, but you don't need both. If you are just a normal person, you don't need both. But anyway, hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I've been meaning to review this, like I said, forever. I've just like, I kept putting it off because I was like, I just don't like using this. This is very enjoyable to use. So anyway, hopefully that comparison was kind of helpful between those two. I think it's more accurate than maybe my older review of the Foreo versus the Clarisonic. I think some of the points that I made in that video are obviously still valid. You just kind of have to pick based on your skin and, you know, what your goals are and what you like the feeling of and how often you want to charge it. If you want to replace brush heads or if you just want to have the thing and it's like good to go. Both are kind of spendy, so definitely want to think about all of those things. All right, there you guys go. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.